Oh, what? Hey, folks, it's your man Manny, and I'm here with Nessie and Cody. Nessie and Cody are both young dogs that jump up on people. With Nessie, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, Nessie's 30 pounds. But this guy, Cody, it is a big deal. I mean, you could see there, him trying to squeeze out of the gate. You know, he could have knocked me over and I could fall down those stairs. So when you've got a bigger dog, folks, that jumping up, it can be a problem. In fact, most people don't know this, but actually more medical bills are paid out by people getting knocked over by dogs than actually bitten by dogs in the United States. So what can we do to fix the jumping up? Well, everybody wants a quick fix, folks. Everybody wants a quick solution. Well, there may be a quick fix, there may be a quick solution, but that's going to probably depend on you having the dog's foundation correct. So that if you do, correct them or punish them for jumping on you, they're going to understand, oh, this is a pretty clear picture. It's not a good idea to do that. So what are the things you can do to set that foundation up for your dog so they're not jumping up on people? Folks, the first thing is to be really clear with your dog. If I'm getting you excited, then something is happening, like we're playing with a toy, we're going for a run, where you are physically going to be able to get your willies out or you're going to get tired. But if I come home or people come into my house and everyone does the high-pitched voice, everybody gets the dog all crazy excited out of their mind, the dog may not be able to control themselves and they may jump up on you because you're getting them very excited. It would be better to, when people come over, if you want to get them excited, pull out a toy and be like, hey, you guys want to play with the dog or you want to play tug with him, or, let him out in the backyard so he can go run around. But having all that excited when you come in and you just go, hey, oh my God, buddy, hey, you're getting the dog excited by using those high-pitched tones. And then the dog, he's going, well, I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll jump on them. Now, the second thing to talk about is just like conceptually being clear with the dog. Once I say no, that means you absolutely have to stop doing this behavior. And it's really a behavior I don't want you ever doing again in the future. So we have to be very consistent with the jumping up. We have to be very consistent in that we're going to say no. And whether we're going to walk away from the dog, we're all going to stop petting the dog, we're all going to ignore the dog. No, and we're going to use a squirt bottle. No, and we're going to do the whole knee in the chest. You have to be consistent. You can't let the dog jump sometimes and not let the dog jump other times. And it brings me to my next point, which is, this particular dog, I was talking to his dad, and he was saying, well, sometimes I let him jump up and I call it jump up. Well, yeah, you can do that, but then your consistency is going to have to be probably about 20% more clear, because you're going to have to be very clear. Under no circumstances ever, no matter what, absolutely not. You are never jumping on anybody ever unless they very clearly invite you to jump up. And with a bigger dog, if I had like a kid and a lot of stuff going on, I wasn't a professional dog trainer, I would be more likely to just go, don't ever let the dog jump on people ever. Teach him other tricks that involve him giving people space. And, there are cases like it's like teaching the dog to bark on command. Like there are some dogs where teaching them to bark on command can help eliminate the barking. There are other cases where you're like, just don't encourage the barking. The dog barks way too much. They need to stop doing that. So consistency is key, folks, with that word no. And when you say no, you have to be clear. This is with everybody. The rules are going to be the same. It doesn't matter if it's my brother-in-law. It doesn't matter if it's my neighbor, some random person on the side of the road. Like, no, we're not getting the dog riled up. And, for me, this was hard. My own dog was doing this stuff. And yeah, I had to not take her places for a while, because every time I'd take her places, people would be encouraging her to jump on them. And unless I was willing to set that boundary with, sometimes random people on the side of the road and go, hey, dude, I don't want my 80-pound Rottweiler jumping on people. And no, you're not going to keep petting her because you're not listening to me. I don't want to do that. So I just stopped taking her places for a while. And I worked on, like, with my family, my friends, and the person, who was apt to be open to helping me with my dog. I worked on those things. The person who comes over, hey, can I pet the dog? Yeah, she's going to jump up, though. Can you not pet her if she jumps up? Oh, yeah, no problem, man. I understand. They'd help me. They'd sit there and be like, no, don't jump. So I think that's the final thing, folks, is just that social component. There's so much social pressure to see a dog get excited out of their mind. And what we see as a happy dog, I see as a dog we're just getting the dog really riled up. Not really for any purpose other than it makes us happy. And that's a cultural thing that, especially where we live in Southern California, it's very common that people they see a dog and their default, they don't know what to do. They just want to get the dog excited. And if the dog doesn't know how to deal with that, the dog's going to end up jumping. I mean, putting their mouth on people. This guy's actually put his mouth on people too. And, pawing at people, climbing into people's laps, licking people, whatever. And so, there is just that social component of like, hey, like, we're not getting the dog all riled up for no reason if the dog can't handle that. And that's not to say there aren't dogs that, you can come home, get them riled up, and then they just go and lay down and they calm down. Sure. But if you want what I have, which is a dog I could take all the way to Texas and back and hardly ever need to say her name once, my suggestion would be clear, guys. We're getting the dog riled up to play with them. We're getting the dog riled up to do something fun and physically active. But, petting and greeting, that stuff should mostly be a calming behavior. So that's all, folks. Just some, conversation things to think about, how to set the dog up for success. So that if you are going to correct them later on, and you're going to have to use a higher level of correction because they're still doing the behavior, you can be clear and sure that you're not confusing your dog and giving them mixed messages, which would totally be unfair to the dog. So, as always, folks, we don't blame them. We train them. We love them. And so we lead them. You can always find me online, followtheleadercanine.com. Happy to help you. Okay, take care.